My name is Lance Spitzner, and I am the training director at SAN Securing the Human. So that means my job and passion is working with organizations around the world to help them secure the human. Oh, no, we're very much in our infancy, but that's the exciting part because this is where we can help grow and lead the path.
So what do you think we need most to grow?
Wow, I think what we need most is aware security professionals. Far too many security professionals think security is bits and bytes. It's all about technology. When in reality, just as important is taking the human element into consideration. So it's not that the people are at fault, it's the security community.
Okay. So what should we do about it? Okay.
Well, that's why we have summits like these type of events. I think what's happening is people are beginning to realize that we have to do something at our end to solve the human problem. Most people agree that the human is the weakest link, but they think they'd only throw more technology at it. So what's interesting is two things. We found that 80% of security professionals have a very technical background, which means they don't have the skills or experience for communication. So if you have an IT background, that doesn't imply you're a bad awareness person, it just implies you need other skill sets. So for one, most in security awareness are lacking that communications background. But the other interesting finding was communications departments are often the biggest blocker.
Yeah.
And the reason why... What's that?
I can vouch for that. I am one of them. Probably interviews.
Uh-oh. Well, and that could be interesting to see if you can confirm this. The most common reason is the security geeks don't coordinate with the communications department ahead of time. They build their awareness program by themselves, plans all done, and they go to communications and say, here, deploy it. Instead, coordinate with communications on day one and work together to build the plan.
So that's your tip.
Yeah.
There is one more thing. Bring them to the conference because I think it's very important to see that in the context.
That's actually a good idea. Get them to events like this.
Because I think it's, like the stuff that we do in internal comms is that every topic is the biggest, the most important stuff in the company, right? And as a sort of internal comms, you also have the role of governance, right? You need to kind of shield the employees from being overloaded with information. So, bringing them here, I think they can put stuff in a context and it will help them to actually prioritize.
That's a good recommendation. Thank you.
That's what helped me today.
Yeah, okay. When you use accelerated learning, there's a much better retainment of information. Isn't that interesting? I learned your job is to inspire people, to arouse curiosity, and to help them to get the most. So, I can't teach you everything about accelerated learning in 10 minutes. So I'm going to give you one principle and one exercise. I show you one exercise how I applied it in my own training. So, it's about learning styles, and maybe it's familiar for some of you. But then my question is, do you really consistently apply it in all situations where you can use it? We all have different learning styles. Usually, well, people have all these learning styles, but usually people have one preferred learning style. So you have the somatic learners. people who have to move all the time to be able to think and to learn. You have the auditory learners. They remember best what they hear. And it's not only about listening, it's also about speaking and making noises. So some people are sitting, listening all the time. Aha. So that's usually auditory learners. You have visual learners, and that's not only about pictures in your slides, it's of course also about images in your stories, but it's also reading and writing. Visual learners like to take a lot of notes, and they love to do that in different colors. So do we have someone in the room who brought different colors to take notes? I suppose that's a visual learner. Usually you will have some of them in your room. And intellectual means you let people exercise their intelligence. And that's not done by only pouring information. You have to let them think. So, is that clear? And if you combine all learning styles in one learning event, then learning is accelerated. Maybe you noticed I ask a lot of questions. And that's also accelerated learning, because your brain is an answering machine. If you hear a question, your brain already starts thinking. So if I say, what's the weather today? All of you will have an image. You look through the window, you see it's sunny. It's a pity to be inside all day. But just a question makes your brain activate it. And so asking questions is a very good way to help people get engaged. And what also helps is let people speak themselves. There's a good chance that the one thing you just told your neighbor will be one of the things you will remember best of this whole day. I saw you were named as a leader in the Garden Magic Quadrant. Congratulations.
Oh, dank u wel.
That's great. So what are you going to do to be there next year again?
Well, the key thing is, and this is what Gartner's starting to look at, is it's no longer who's got the flashiest CBT, computer-based trading. It's all about how can you help organizations with their entire awareness program. So the key thing we found is a lot of times awareness officers and organizations lack either the time and resources or skills and experience. So we're developing a platform that automates everything, helps them walk them through a roadmap, automate all the communications, different ways to outreach to people. So we're trying to make the path as simple as possible and automate it as much as possible. And that's not so much providing materials, but all of the planning and communications involved around that.
And is that already in it, or is that what you're going to do?
A little bit of both. So we already have that foundation. It's called the ACLP, Advanced Cybersecurity Learning Platform. We already have the technology. It's taken about 2 years to deploy, but right now it's just in the beginning. We're continuing to add a lot of new functionality.
So how about coming to Amsterdam next year?
Game on?
Yeah, okay.
I just got to talk to my boss about that.
Yeah, well, but we have our community to over 200 people now, so it might be
My only thing is, instead of Amsterdam, you have so many beautiful cities. Delft, Leiden, Maastricht.
Yeah.
I mean...
But you know about them. Maybe Amsterdam attracts more other people.
Nah.
You don't think so? Okay.
Go to one of the other cities. They're so much nicer.
Okay, well, game on.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All good?
Oh. hope so.
We'll see how that turns out.
Yeah. I'll